Hi everyone, Skip here. Take a journey with me as I explore all 64 of Wisconsin's state parks and post short, informative, inspirational videos on this channel. Tune in and plan your day hike. I'm at this roadside stand right now and I came across this sign. The sign reads, beginning in 1844, nearly 700 settlers were brought into this area by the British Temperance and Emigration Society, organized the previous year in Liverpool, England. By 1850, Dover had boasted a hotel, post office, cooper, blacksmith, shoemaker, wagon shop, and stores. When the railroad chose Mozamani, right down the road from here, for a depot site and made no stop in Dover, the Doverites moved their houses into Mozamani, and Dover faded away to become a ghost town. A local boy who made good was John Appleby, inventor of the knotter on the grain binder. The idea came to Appleby as he watched the monotonously regular movements of his mother's hands while knitting. In 1867, he successfully demonstrated his revolutionary contraption in a wheat field east of the cemetery. And over here we have this very cool historic cemetery. I think that's what this wayside is all about. And there's no gate into this, so I'm not going to go in here. But there is a gravestone right here that shows John Culver, who died in 1862. There's another one from 1865, and yeah, I can't see all the way back there, but these are all very old, cool gravestones. And then you can see in the background, the sun is coming up, so that must be east. So that's where the wheat field was, where Mr. Appleby's, or Appley, where his knotter thing was demonstrated, and I assume successfully so. History is where we see it, or where we look for it. It's all over. 1862, that's 160 plus years ago.
I'm the only one that works in the park mainly because our supervisor, he's the park and he's also the riverway.
Okay.
Because we also overlook the Lower Wisconsin Riverway.
Oh, neat.
Because that goes from Sauk all the way to Waterloosing, all the way to Mississippi.
Oh, sure.
Yep.
Sure.
And then property manager is the property manager from Governor Dodge.
Yeah.
So they overlook us as well.
Yeah.
So I'm basically just like, the only person
hands-on guy.
Do office, do maintenance, all that stuff.
Yeah. Tell me what's cool about, what do you enjoy about this park?
It's quiet.
Yeah.
You get a lot of stuff done. I mean, beginning of the summer looked pretty bad, but we dug up some of the roads because the roads were just covered with a bunch of dirt. Repainted the parking spots over there. Repainted a lot of signs actually, but just need a lot of help. It's getting there, but still needs a lot of work so far.
Yeah. Are you coming back next summer?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Probably. Most likely.
Yeah.
But the history here is just, it's amazing. Back to the Black Hawk War, up to the Civil War, and then once the shot tower shut down or whatever, the property was sold to a minister over in Chicago as like a retreat.
Yeah.
And then once he passed away, his wife donated the park to the state, and then became a state park.
Very cool.
I mean, a lot of history here. Pretty
Is that building at the front where they have the 2-foot thick walls? Is that an old? What is that?
Oh, that's an old barn.
It's an
the
old
Chicago
barn.
minister. That's his barn.
That was his barn. Okay, yeah. I was reading the plaque about that, so I figured that was the guy.
I think his last name's Jenkins, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
So many names to go around, so many people, historic figures that were in this park, so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a beautiful park, the bluff, especially up by the tower.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm sorry, what was your name?
Oh, I'm Mason.
Hey, Mason, Skip.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Yeah, great to meet you.
Yeah, of
All right,
course.
thanks, man.
Yeah, you have a good day.
You too, bye. Okay, and we are off. We're headed up the Oxbow Trail. We're just gonna follow the path of the ore from came from the mines, and then it was loaded on ox cart, and hauled, well, it was gotten here somehow, and then when it got here, they put it on ox carts, and they went up this trail right here, the ox cart trail. Here's our sign. And this little thing in the corner is very helpful, especially when we get to the top and we're trying to find there's the sun. Cool. So yeah, I'll just do this to get a sense of what it was like to be an ox pulling up in this cart full of iron ore, or even the people who were guiding the ox. I'm guessing this was a fairly treacherous thing. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe they got pretty good at it, probably. But all the same, it's not like putting it in the back of a pickup truck or whatever. And then right here we're looking at a state sign that shows that we're in a state wildlife refuge. Hunting and trapping by permit only. So yeah, there is a lot of bird life around here. There's a lot of insects too. And the first time I came here, it was really, really buggy. I think it was in the spring. But yeah, I remember I could hardly stand it. I didn't have bug spray and I had to get out of here. And there's still some insects here on this late August day, but considerably less than anything that I experienced before. Coming up to this very cool, very primitive gazebo, not made with timbers, but with cut logs. Yeah. That's pretty sweet. And on the inside, looks like that. See, that's where we came from. And that would take us to the tunnel if we went right, but we are going this way up the trail right up to the shot tower. This is where the shot was made. It was, yeah, the ore was melted and then poured through these ladles that had little holes in them so that it would get the approximate size of the shot, and then as it fell down through the air, it would cool off so that it was partially solidified by the time it got to the bottom, and then it would fall into a bucket of water, at which point it would cool off even further, and that would also kind of break the fall so that it all didn't get distorted in its shape. So yeah, the trails are nicely marked. Here's another one. Continuing on to the shot tower, another map. Here's a sign that tells us how to get back to the park if we want to. And then ultimately we get to the top of the trail. And we're at the top of the bluff here, which is right where they wanted this thing. They wanted it high up, so that shot had a good period of time to fall and cool. That's how they were doing this stuff. Just crazy. And this is not the original, but it is a replica of the shot tower. There's a little plaque right here that talks all about it. Overlook of the valley there. And then there's the side of this thing. You can kind of look down. Right down below, right down there is the river. That's where we're headed to. This shot fell a long way. Thomas Bolton Shantz, a lead miner from Galena, Illinois, to dig a shaft from the top of the bluff to the level of the river below. Shantz arrived in 1831 and spent 187 days over the next 2 years digging the 120-foot deep shaft and the 90-foot tunnel between the shaft and the riverbank so that the shot tower could be built. Lead brought from Mineral Point or Galena in 75-pound bars called pigs was melted in large kettles at the smelting house. Arsenic was added to make it brittle. The melted lead was poured through a ladle with holes in the lid and dropped into a pool of water. The droplets cooled and became round as they fell. When in full operation, a crew of 6 operated the shot tower, dropping up to 5,000 pounds of lead per day. Of this, only about 600 to 800 pounds was usable shot. The rest was hauled back to the top of the tower, melted, and dropped again. Good morning. Shot comes down and how it comes out in the tunnel, and like they did all this by hand.
Yeah, I was reading that.
Yeah.
And I mean without survey equipment or anything for putting that tunnel in.
Very pretty. Of the shot tunnel. Hello? Hello? Anybody in there? Maybe not. We come out. Here is the foundation on which some sort of a, you see the old steel here. This is a bridge or maybe something that went over the river. There's one on the other side. And then the shot was dropped onto the barges maybe. And then floated down like that. So you can kind of tell there's like an iron grate here. It's an iron door. I doubt that this was original, but it's definitely old. And it's pretty cool. And here's how it sounds in here. Earlier in the day, I could not see shaft light from up above, and I still can't if I look at the back of the thing. And here's the river upstream. Okay, so now we're coming back, and we're back to that branch point right by where that sign is, right? So there's the shot tunnel sign. And then here's the park sign. And if we go left, that's the way that we came, right there. But if we go right, and that's the way we're going to go now, we get to go up these stairs. These were made by the Civilian Conservation Corps. There is a little plaque on one of these steps higher up that shows that. Those guys too, using hand tools, shaped and laid every one of these stones. There were no machines involved. Now, these wood steps are newer construction. And as you can see by this tippy wall, that this stairway has seen some better days. Everything's kind of tilted. It is, I don't say it's treacherous, but it's not without hazard. Or it does have some degree of hazard. See how this whole thing is just tilted off to my left as I'm going up? Yeah, so proceed with caution. This should be done based on a person's abilities. See how it's kind of, nothing kind of about it. It's totally tipped over. That little bracket is pulled out of this wood step that it had been bracketed into to the left and up. And these are the ones that begin at the tower. You probably can't see it, but it's up in that direction right there. So if I kept going this direction, it would just wind around this bluff and wind up back at the parking lot / campground. But we'll go up these steps here, these CCC steps. Very cool. And get ourselves back to the tower. There's been some repair here. I mean, this is obviously cut stone here, so that was probably a repair job along the way. But this other stuff I think is probably Conservation Corps, including these walls here. These little stone walls. These look to be very old and go along with an age of 90 plus years old. And then here we are at the base of the tower. There it is. And the natural bluff that's right next to it. We can walk up here. So is all okay. And so the tower was built, so this is looking up to the top of the tower. And it's way up there. Yeah, there we go. That's the top of the tower from where I'm standing. And the shot just fell down, 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 and then down. And you can see the rounded part of the shaft. And that's a lot of what the guy was digging. This tower was built around the side of the cliff, but then they dug this shaft straight down there, and it's pretty straight. I don't know how they did it, but they had their ways. And even now I cannot see, I can see farther down because of this light, I think, reflecting off the side of the shaft. But the light from the bottom just doesn't make it up here. There's just not much light down there.